This is Perp back with another video, and I just got done watching From Season 3, Episode 6. A lot to talk about, and there's definitely some things that are fillerish in this episode. I want to talk about the more important things that went on in this episode that's pertaining to like what Jade was doing and what was going on with Victor and Henry in the caves. Now, to kind of get the little stuff out the way, stuff that's going on with Tabitha and Jim, they kind of get into this whole fight in the beginning of this episode. It kind of, gets really personal, where it starts off them Jim just trying to be there for Tabitha having a lot of self-doubt in herself, feeling like she could have done more, and Jim's like just saying you did what you could, and then it ends up turning into a personal back and forth, and they let their real feelings show, and they bring up the reason why Tabitha wanted a divorce. It just got really messy, and of course they them just yelling, Julie and Ethan overhear this. So now Jim's off going to that settlement to kind of get the rest of the food, just to kind of get away from Tabitha in general. That's like kind of like the last time we see Jim for the episode. And throughout the whole episode, Tabitha is just really doubting herself, and I really like that we get a scene with her and Donna, and Donna's pretty much telling her like, look, man, like your kids are just happy that you're alive. They thought you were dead. Just be thankful that you are here with them now and whatnot. And she's trying to like reconnect with her kids, but she definitely feels like something's off. Like Ethan's not really communicating as much. Ethan still loves his mom, obviously, but it's just this absence has definitely kind of shifted things within their family. And she is seeing the Akui kids. And I feel like anytime those little kids show up, it's more so a warning or something is coming. Nothing good ever follows when these little kids fucking show up. So we're gonna have to wait to see how that plays out. Randall, he's mopey as a motherfucker. I don't blame him. He is miserable. Marielle goes in to check his wounds, like to kind of switch out his bandage, and they fucked him up pretty good. He's got like a nice little gash on the side of his neck, and then he has a little Joker smile. You know what I'm saying? And I like Randall's character, you know what I'm saying? Even though he has all the right to feel the way that he feels, like when he's talking to Marielle in this episode, talking about how can you ignore what happened to us, what is real, and even him talking to Julie later on in the episode, and them obviously going to smoke weed together. Those three are connected in a way. They all went through a similar thing, but it seems like Randall's the only one that kind of acknowledges it. Julie somewhat does. She doesn't want to turn to Sarah. We learned that earlier in the season. Marielle completely just kind of like ignores it. But now Randall is able to move out of the bus into the little hospital place and whatnot. That's cool. Then Kenny also is getting ready to move because he can't just stand to be in his mother's house. It just feels awkward, so he ends up going to Colony House. And fucking, we find out that Donna was having some freak offs. You know what I'm saying? That shit was wild. But that's like kind of the little stuff that was going on in this episode. Let's get into the really interesting bits in this episode. Starting off with Victor and his father going through the caves, having some father-son bonding moment in the most terrifying place imaginable. And I just like Victor's father's reaction to all this. Like, he's fucking terrified going into this cave. But to make sure they don't get lost, Victor has these little army men that he leaves so they can find their way back out. So that's interesting. So they are able to find Jasper, but he's like deep in the caves. And, you know, one of the monsters kind of threatens Victor. They say, like, you know, you keep coming down here, you're going to end up staying here. So that's really interesting. I still think that they're going to try to target his father in some way or another. But the interesting thing is Jasper, because Jasper seems to be Victor's key to figuring things out. This ventriloquist doll has told a story to Chris about this place, and he's going to try to get it to talk. How that is, I have no idea. Even Henry looks at Victor kind of crazy, like, yo, that's just a toy. It can't really talk. But there are weirder things in this fucking place that don't make sense anyways. So that is really important. Now, the more crucial stuff is going on with Jade, because Jade is really starting to kind of piece things together. Not completely, but he realizes there is another bottle tree. He goes out to the bottle tree, sees all these different messages in the bottles. They contain a bunch of different numbers that are like repetitive. So he tries to see if he can put it together to see if there's some type of key, you know, and he's not quite certain if he has all the answers as far as trying to figure out what this is, but Ethan's going to help him put this puzzle together. So we know that there's 2 bottle trees, and we're going to try to put these numbers together. But the interesting thing at the end of this episode with Tabitha is she always mentions these nightmares that she has, and one of the statues that we see when they go to get the food and whatnot, those little statues, she's seen those same things in her dreams. And there's these 3 red stones, and she has been to this place before. So now this got me kind of really thinking, like, and with Jade saying that these places are kind of like wormholes or something like that, that there are possible ways to get out of this place, it makes me think, like, man, I have a lot of thoughts. I want to know your thoughts about this whole entire wormhole thing, and, you know, what Tabitha's dreams could mean. Is it like something supernatural going on? Like, I don't think it's a purgatory. I don't think, maybe it is a dream. Maybe this is all, you know, Victor's dream and everybody's in his head. I don't know. There's so many interesting theories that are out there, specifically also with Fatima. And I do think that she's going to end up turning into a monster, because, you know, on that ambulance they find a ultrasound thing, and they do an ultrasound and there's no baby there. So she's just been eating she's been eating shit just to eat shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's no good. That's no good. That's no bueno. That is a very bad sign, and I think it's going to get really dangerous for anybody that's around Fatima. And also, Fatima and Alice also tells Boyd what's going on with her, with eating all that rotten food. So maybe they got to kind of keep watch of her, make sure she doesn't kind of go left, but only time could tell. Now, another interesting thing is Elgin in here. He's sitting there taking pictures of people, takes a picture of Fatima, and he's hanging up all the different pictures, and he sees that creepy ass old lady, or a creepy ass ghost thing, whatever, pop into frame, and then also pops up behind him saying, like, help me, I can help you guys get out of here. There's so many answers, so many questions I have, that I'm going to be thinking about this episode all fucking week. I feel like I have a theory. I just can't put it into words, but just something with these numbers. It's like some type of algorithm. There's, like Jade said in there, like nothing here is on purpose. And I like the whole back and forth he has with Tom, dead Tom, I should say. And Tom's like, maybe if you sobered up, you could be able to think straighter. So he's probably going to take that advice and he's going to be able to figure these things out with a much clearer head. But like I said, not a lot going on, but a lot was going on at the same time in this episode. It's one of those things that I feel like all the answers are right in front of us, but it's just putting the pieces together. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. I enjoyed it for the most part. Like just the stuff with Jade, very fascinating stuff. The stuff with Tabitha, very interesting. You know, also the stuff with Fatima and just not having a baby. How do y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? There is no baby in there. So what's the deal with that? So yeah, you know, let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.